More Gospel, chapter 29, Success. To some who were confident of their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else, Jesus told this parable. Two men went up to the temple to pray, one a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood by himself and prayed, God, I thank you that I am not like other people, robbers, evildoers, adulterers, or even like this tax collector. I fast twice a week and give a tenth of all I get. But the tax collector stood at a distance. He would not even look up to heaven, but beat his breast and said, God, have mercy on me, a sinner. I tell you that this man, rather than the other, went home justified before God. For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Luke chapter 18, verses 9 through 14. It is so easy to become prideful. It sneaks into our lives without us even noticing it. When I was in college, I was part of a fraternity. 6 of the brothers were from the same rural area and became known as the farm block. We all sat at the same table every day for supper. A city boy from Cleveland, Greg, was a friend, and he always ate with us. He was an honorary farmer for 3 years, but in the fall of our senior year, things changed. Greg was elected president of the fraternity, and from that day on, he never ate at our table again. We weren't good enough anymore. It was shocking to me how a little success had so quickly gone to his head and inflated his ego. It really doesn't take much success to make us prideful. It could simply be our position in life. It was the evening before Thanksgiving, and all of the college kids were at a local bar. Anne, who I later married, had not gone to college, but had started working in a factory right after high school. She was also at the bar socializing with many classmates that she hadn't seen since graduation. One guy came up to her and said, "How you doing, you old factory rat?" Factory rat? Really? This guy was a college man, and he saw Anne as a factory rat. I'm sure he meant no ill will toward her by his greeting, but it did reveal an inner attitude of pridefulness. I'm better than you because I go to college and you're working in a factory. It's too bad that this type of attitude is so prevalent in our society. Anne did factory work for 7 years before we got married, and she always admired the bosses who treated their workers with respect and valued their labor. Soon after my conversion, my brother Ali experienced a similar conversion and has been on fire for Christ ever since. He's been a man of prayer, scripture, and spiritual study, even though he worked as a truck driver for a local factory. He was a faithful member of the charismatic prayer group that met on Monday evenings. One Tuesday morning, a woman from the prayer group told the local parish priest how great the prayer meeting had been the previous night. "Oh, Father, you should have been there. Ali gave the most beautiful teaching." The priest derisively replied, "What could a truck driver teach me about religion?" Wow. That statement pretty much revealed his own pridefulness and how he, quote, despised everyone else, unquote. I wonder if he felt the same way about an uneducated carpenter from Nazareth. I'm sure that many of the social elite had a hard time with anything that Jesus taught simply because he wasn't a part of their social status. My dear friend, be very careful not to become prideful. Success is a good thing, but it is one of the toughest things to handle spiritually. A lot of fame, money, celebrity, and power, especially if it comes easily to a young person, often leads to spiritual death. It makes people feel self-sufficient and that they don't need God or anyone else for that matter. Just look at some rich Hollywood celebrities. They behave in the most outrageous ways. They don't think that any rules should apply to them. "How dare you arrest me for drunk driving? Don't you know who I am?" said one recently. They live as if there is no God, and the word humble is the last word that would be used to describe them. They are obvious examples of the evil of pridefulness, but we must all be on our constant guard against becoming prideful because of our own small success. Almost anything can let pride in. I'm pretty. I'm smart. I'm talented. I'm athletic. I'm popular. I'm very religious. I've got a nice car. I've got a great spouse. I've got a great body. My kid is the star of the team. My job is prestigious. My clothes are better than yours. The list is endless. One of the best ways to grow in the virtue of humility is to go to confession frequently, at least once a month. A good examination of conscience, along with sacramental confession, really helps a person to be humble and to depend totally on the mercy of God. I don't know of anything better that helps us to have a correct attitude toward God and neighbor than this wonderful sacrament.